Harsh, while you are presenting, I will keep admitting the people
Okay, sir.
so that you don't be disturbed on that. When I am presenting, you can admit.
Okay, sir. Hi, good morning, everybody. Please, we welcome you to this masterclass session on advanced manufacturing solutions for various sectors. My name is Harsh. I represent Capital Goods Skill Council. Uh, Let me take you to the presentation, introduction to the Capital Goods Skill Council, that what exactly Capital Goods Skill Council is and why it is formed. So the main objectives of setting a set for Capital Goods Skill Council is to develop the national qualification standards, to develop the quality assurance parameters, TOTs, training of assessors, and we also promote the academics of excellence for the sectors. Uh, the 10 subsectors on which we people are working is already mentioned in this particular slide. We established in 2013. We are promoted by DHI FICCI with the support of NSDC. We were governed by some of the very good council members. They are all from industry only. At present, our chairman is Mr. Sunil Chaturvedi, who is the CMD Gainwell Commercials. Few of the governing council members already mentioned. I hope it is visible to everybody. CGSC so far has affiliated approximately 896 training centers pan India. We have developed 55 qualification packs in 96 unique national occupational standards. And at a moment, we are progressing so far, understanding that Industry 4.0 is going to be the need of an hour. 2 qualification packs for Industry 4.0 is already under industry validation. We have tied up with many academic universities, colleges. We have also done state partnerships, MOUs with some of very good states. We have designated 15 TOT centers, 10 designated center of excellence. And as far as training is concerned, we have got more than 1 lakh trainees assessed and certified. We have also certified more than 800 trainers and more than 463 assessors as on date. Capital Goods Skill Council job roles are primarily into the occupations of machining, cutting, welding, quality testing, fitting, assembly, designing, whether it is 2D or 3D, coating, painting, machine installation and commissioning, quality testing plus inspection, calibration, instrumentation, forging, maintenance, material preparation, and shop floor management. So in total, we have developed 55 qualification packs, and all these qualification packs has been developed keeping in view from the industry's perspective, like what exactly the industry's need is right now. Just like Olympics of games, after every 2 years, there is also a word skills competition organized. Capital Goods Skill Council is also participating in the same. The skills on which we are competing in word skills are CNC milling, turning, MCAD, plastic die engineering, and welding. In the presentation slide, you can see Mr. Gollapalli, who has won the bronze medal for welding competition last year in Kazan. We are also promoting apprenticeship, and the main good thing of apprenticeship is this, that now as such no labor inspector itself is required to take care of the guidelines of apprenticeship, because the CGSC CEO they have been designated as a joint apprenticeship advisor for the office. We have created so far 4,945 opportunities and 1,052 contracts has been generated. So if in case your company is looking forward to hire apprentices under mechanical job roles, we request you to kindly please get in touch with us. We will definitely help you in that, in the hiring of apprentices also. As I have already mentioned that today's need is Industry 4.0 and everybody is talking about the same. Capital Goods Skill Council is also in a process of developing the qualification packs which are directly related to Industry 4.0. So these are some of the job roles which we have so far identified. And out of that, we are already working on predictive maintenance engineer. So these are few of the job roles for the future, like for factory automation engineer, smart mechatronics engineer, digital quality engineer. So these are few of the job roles which may be required in the coming later stages with the industries. CGSC so far has organized many of the webinars during lockdown uh, in association with some of the very good industrial associations, which are actually supported by knowledge partners, state governments, regional councils, and these are only few of those. Atmanirbhar skilled employer mapping. This is a portal which has recently been introduced by NSDC in association with sector skill councils. So the main objective of developing this particular portal is to bridge the demand and supply gap. So recently when the COVID was there, many of the industries have actually approached us, requested that, see, we are looking forward if you can please help us in hiring some good quality workforce. So keeping in view, the government has recently launched this particular portal, and Capital Goods Skill Council is also in a process of development of its own placement portal for the member companies, in where the member companies can easily post in their job requirements, and we will help them in getting the right quality certified workforce for their company. As far as industry is concerned, we can support in providing the workforce. As I have already mentioned, we are also into upskilling and reskilling of existing employees through RPL and certify existing workforce through CGSC. We are also provide an opportunity to explore industry-owned training centers and adopt existing centers under CSR initiatives. Knowledge support is always required from industry experts to run relevant need-based skill courses and be a member of CGSC. We also support industries in apprenticeship and NAPS, which I have already mentioned that this is going to be a good program for hiring the apprentices. So I again repeat the same thing, that if in case your company is looking forward to hire the apprenticeships, please let us know so that we can help you further on this thing. We are also looking forward from the industry participation as far as word skills competition is concerned. Let me introduce today's speaker, Mr. Chandramouli ji, who has 4 decades of industrial experience in diverse industries such as machine tools, consumable durables, trucks, etc. Sir has also superannuated as MD of Stark India, and now it's a board member since June 2017. Chandramouli sir is also part of Governing Council of Capital Goods Skill Council, and so far helping us in delivering many of the webinars in last 3 to 4 months. So this is for today's topic, and let me invite Chandramouli ji. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Harsh. Very crisp. And
Thank you
10
very much.
minutes, very crisp 10 minutes. Can you take over the other formalities of admitting the new participants?
Sure, sir, I will do that, sir.
So that, it won't come in my in my screen so that I can minimize that part. Thank you, Harsh, for the kind introduction and a very good introduction of the Capital Goods Skill Council. My name is Chandramouli and I welcome all of you. 60 have already joined. You can admit people up to maybe 11:30.
Okay, sir.
After that, of course, your ceiling of 100 will take over. So, and I request all the participants other than me and Harsh to close their video and definitely the audio, but request all of them to enter their remarks, comments, questions on the text box. This will help not to get any noise from the background while I am presenting. And today is a master class, so I need to concentrate. The job of the teacher is equally difficult as compared to the job of the student also. So we call it as a master class, not an ordinary webinar. And let me now share my screen with those introductory remarks. I request all of you to mute video, audio, but keep putting your remarks and comments on the text box. And I promise you, I will take up some of the questions on several intervals, not at the end only. And I hope you can be patient till the end, which is our hard stop is supposed to be 1 o'clock. Let me start the whole program with a small poll. If you can answer the first question. Is it launched, Harsh?
It is not coming, sir, I think.
I'm still getting the admitting thing. That is how to avoid it for me. You have to check.
Site is launched.
Oh, I think launch is in your hand, I think. So if you can answer the first question, all of you are able to see the questions. What is not a driving factor in the current trends in the manufacturing systems? High volume mass production, customized production, digitalized manufacturing, complex shape of parts. Out of this, in the last 10 years, last decade, one of them is not relevant anymore. Can you identify which of them? High volume mass production, customized production, digitalized manufacturing, complex shape of parts. Don't worry about the right or wrong answer. Just select what you feel is not included in that. I will count 30 seconds now. Then I'll close the poll. Somebody raising hand, but I want him to answer it. Harsh, you will keep seeing the chat box for the problem, if there any. But people are, I hope they can see the, because I am not able to see because attendees are now answering, viewing the questions. But nobody is voting. So is there a problem with the poll? Is there a problem with the poll? Yes, people are answering. People are answering. It appears that people are answering many questions. No. I want them to answer only the first question. Okay. 50%, only 2 people answered. Any reason, Harsh?
Site is open for everybody. Everybody can answer. Now.
4 have answered. Okay. So slowly they're answering.
Yes.
I want all of them to answer only question number 1. I forgot to mention to Harsh that we should have put each question on separate poll. Anyway.
Yeah, actually the submit button is only if you answer all the questions.
Okay, sorry. Okay. You can answer the first question alone, sir. Oh, Mr. Harsh, they are saying you can, only when you answer all of them, they can submit, it seems.
Okay.
Anyway, then okay, go ahead and answer all the 10 questions. Doesn't matter. Oh, people are forced to answer all of them. Very good. No issue. So it became a pre-assessment before our program. 6 people have answered. Because they're answering all the 10 questions, we'll give some more time. I'll give 5 more minutes. 11:15 we started. So 11:25 we close. So 10 questions, 10 minutes. 1 minute per question is very fair, correct? I will definitely give the answer also. Don't worry. I can see 8 people are trying to answer all the questions. It's good. It's also like a warm-up. Mr. Sivaganesh can close his video. Nine people answered. Maybe the questions are a little tougher. Doesn't matter. We will answer them again at the end of the session. 11:25, I'll close the poll. Harsh, when I end the poll,
Yes, sir.
you will be able to store the results. We'll see. If you can take a snapshot of the results,
I will do that, sir.
we can take it at the end again. Anyway, we are learning how to do the poll. It's good. It's a continuous learning process. Oh, not bad. 16 people already answered. I think the catch was they are able to submit only when all the 10 are answered. So it becomes almost like an assessment test. Doesn't matter. It's good. Next time we will have to put one question at a time, Harsh.
Okay,
So
sir.
you'll get 10 polls. We are learning. Doesn't matter. 20 people answered already. When I end the poll, they can see the results. All of them can see the results. And ladies and gentlemen, we will try to find answers during my session for these questions. So it is only your checking your prior knowledge. But during the session, we will try to find answers to many of these questions. I think 30 people, 24 people have answered now. If 30 people finish by 11:25, I suppose. During the presentation, this admitting new members, you can take over.
Okay, sir.
We'll be a little flexible today in terms of people joining. It's a working day, after all. Sometimes the students tend to join after the class is over. Already 29 people have answered. Somebody is talking. That you have to see in there.
It is outside our office, sir.
Oh, your office. Okay. Fair enough. Once you mute, they cannot talk. Okay. Now 30 people have answered. 11:25. I am closing the poll. 50% of the audience have answered. Oh, now more people are answering very fast. 33 have answered. Should I wait for some more time? I don't want to disappoint the audience, the participants. Because it's taking time. So more and more people are answering very fast. So around 60 participants are there. Okay. It doesn't matter. Others can always answer them. We will send the question. What we'll do, Harsh, that Word file which I sent you, you put it in the text box.
Okay, sir.
You put it in the text box, not now, at the end of the program. So they can answer it, otherwise they'll start answering now. They can answer at home.
Okay,
Now
sir.
39 have answered, so I'll take one more and then close the poll. COO also joined. Welcome, Shalini. 40 have answered. So I'm ending the poll. Great. Results. I am sharing the results. All of you can see the results. Harsh, can you see the results? Harsh, you have to unmute.
It is available in front of me, sir.
Very good. So, what is not a driving factor in the current trends? High volume mass production. That orange color means that is the #1 rank. That is the correct answer. High volume mass production is not a current trend anymore. I will explain during my presentation. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Competitive strategy of machine tool industry does not include following types: cost leadership, substitute, differentiation, focus. Well, the correct answer is substitute product strategy is not included. Differentiation strategy is very much a very important part of it. Anyway, I'll explain during my presentation. What is a good example of focus strategy? Special purpose machine. Correct answer. 75% of the people have answered. Correct answer. Waiting room, you have to take care. Harsh.
I will do that, sir.
3 people are waiting. What is most important in ferrous machining productivity improvement? Cutting time. Correct answer. Cutting time reduction is a very important in ferrous machining productivity improvement. What is the most important in assessing value of machine tool? Vital features, etc. Value, benefits and advantage. Correct answer. 50% of the people have answered values, benefits and advantages. Excellent. What is not important in assessing cost of machine? Initial investment, total life cost, cost per part. Wrong answer. Total life cost is not the correct answer. Initial investment is not important in assessing cost of a machine tool. We will explain when we come to the presentation. What is the ideal way of offering promised value to customer? Tooled up turnkey machine. Correct answer. 63% of the people have answered correctly. Tooled up turnkey is the ideal way of offering promised value to the customer. We will explain during the presentation. What is most important factor in the high productive machining of aluminum? Fast axis velocity acceleration. Correct answer. Torque of the spindle is not important. Fast axis velocity and acceleration very important for aluminum machining. Correct answer. What is most important factor for gearbox manufacturing quality? Positioning accuracy of machine tool. Correct answer. 68% of people given the correct answer. What is the ideal way of getting desired quality in machining of valves? Turning followed by milling followed by drilling. Wrong answer. Multitasking mill turn machine 48% and other one is 53%, but I think they are in a dilemma. The correct answer is multitasking mill turn machine. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for participating in the poll. We will attach these questions once again in the text box and I will stop sharing the results now. Harsh. So now it's 11:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I start? I will share the screen. You are able to see?
Yes, sir.
Harsh?
Yes.
Thank you, Harsh. You can go on mute so that you can come back when I ask about the videos, so that people can listen without any noise. Good morning once again to everybody. I am very happy that Harsh, you will take care of the other things like admission and all. I'm very happy many of you participated in the poll. 40 people participated in the poll, which is 75%. And most of you gave the correct answer except 2 or 3 questions. But during my explanation today, I'm sure you will realize that these are very important questions. I titled this program as Advanced Manufacturing System and CNC Machining Solution Across Sectors. The reason I did it, I'll explain to you in the coming slides. You know, machine tools are used in several markets. Typically, aerospace sector, energy sector, power generation, industrial sector, which includes machine tools, valves, so on and so forth. General engineering. Industrial sector is nothing but general engineering. And transport sector. Transport sector means not only cars, it is 2-wheelers, 4-wheelers, which means passenger car, trucks, tractors. Here is an image of a tractor. And earth movers, including railways, which go on the earth, are all considered as a transport sector. What is not on the earth is flying, is a aerospace sector. Energy could be turbines, windmills, and so on and so forth. Industrial is everything other than energy, aerospace, and transport can be classified under industrial. Typical examples, I already told you. Transport could be tractors, trucks, even marine ships are coming under transport. Railway. Aerospace could be helicopters, drones, not only aircrafts. Aircrafts could be civilian or military. Energy sector, power generation, turbines, windmills. Now, the reason I want to go through this is the machining solutions. The word solution is very important. We are not talking about a machine tool, engineering, design of machine tool and all. We are talking about solutions. That means the customer should be able to appreciate the requirement of the machine tool. The buyer of the machine is the one who is looking at the application of the machine and how the metal cutting. Today I am focusing on metal cutting machine tool. Capital Goods Council will invite experts from other sectors as we go along. We will get experts from metal forming machine tool, plastic injection machine tools, textile machinery, and so on and so forth. But today's focus is metal cutting machine tool. The application of the customer for the component which belongs to transport or power generation or aerospace or industrial is very, very important for us to understand. Then we can select the right machine for the right component. The other reason I called is advanced manufacturing or advanced machine tool is because the regular machining, all of us are very familiar. But the difficult parts, then more and more components are getting complex in shape, complex in size, large parts, difficult metallurgy, super alloys, titanium, inconel. So when it comes to difficult shapes, difficult sizes, difficult metallurgy, we need to get what is called advanced machining solutions. Now let us move on to what is happening in the trend in the last 10 to 15 years, the trend in the industry. I'll come back to the slide after I explain the trend. The high volume, high accuracy, very low takt time. Takt time means the time required to produce one component when it comes out of a line. It is total time available divided by volume of components. It is different from cycle time. Takt time is different from cycle time. Cycle time is the time required to produce one component, the second component, the third component. Takt time is total time available divided by total number of components coming out of the line. The high volume, high accuracy, fast takt time mass production. It was there till the year 2000. Till the year 2000, volume was 100,000 cars, 100,000 trucks, 1 million two-wheelers. That means 10 lakh two-wheelers. This is the kind of volume we were talking. But now the scenario has changed. You remember the quiz. High volume mass production was before 2000, year 2000. The 2001 onwards, the last 20 years, the trend has changed. Yeah. In the high volume production, gantry, robos, very, very popular. The new trend is multiple variety. No one component is same as another component. There is a batch production, which means mass production means very high volume. Batch production means small batches, 50 pieces, 100 pieces. Typically, if you look at aerospace industry, even automobile industry is moving towards batch production. Valve industry, oil and gas industry, batch production. Machine tool industry, batch production. There are many, many industries which fall in the concept of batch productions, but many variety. Some of our machine tool players in India are producing 100 types of machine tools. And each machine tool has got at least 10 machined parts. That means 100 into 10, 1,000 types of parts they are machining every day. Our leaders in the industry in India. That means the high volume mass production is only in some sectors, that too before year 2000. Now there is a concept of flexible manufacturing system. I will explain that later on, which is used for high volume, low volume, multiple variety, small batch production. The third concept in machine tool solution, the trend in the last 2 decades, is very complex shapes, very complex sizes. Typically, it happens in the aerospace industry. Medical implant. You see this part here is a medical implant, which means it goes into it replaces the bones. It goes into our body after a surgery. Harsh, you are able to hear me? You just say like this.
Yes, sir.
You just say like this. It's enough. Like this. It's like emoticon. And helicopter gearbox, turbine blisk impellers, emergency door of an aircraft, watches, jewelry, watch casing, medical implant, jewelry. These are all the various industries. And this requires a different type of solution, what we call as multitasking, multi-axis machinery, including 6-axis jig boring machines. Complex shapes, but high precision. Precision means 1 micron, 2 micron, that kind of a quality we are talking. And another factor which is emerging now, 3D printing, additive manufacturing. But why it is coming? It is a solution when the shape design itself is difficult. You can't make with ordinary machining called subtractive machining. It's not possible. Or the shape is so complex. Or you have to make it lightweight. Or the design is not even conceived. It is not a conversion of a regular machining to additive manufacturing. It is a new product itself. It's a new design. For example, a bionic design. For example, a medical implant which goes into the surgery of a knee or a shoulder. For example, a jet engine casing in an aircraft. Several case studies. Gyroscope. Gyroscopic devices in the avionics or in the rocket. All this require a new technology. The feasibility of designing and machining is changing. Harsh, you started recording, correct? I hope you have not forgotten recording. Okay. If you've forgotten, just start recording. Because I want this to be available to the participants so they can listen to it later on. And with all this, the most important driver of the factor in the current last 5 years, in Indian market last 5 years, in the global market last 8 years, is bringing digital manufacturing. Digital manufacturing is called Industrial Internet of Things. Industry 4.0. Different names are used. Cyber physical systems. Mr. NSK Devjit, you can close your video, please. The cyber physical systems. What is the reason for this? The data is available but not used. The data for machining is available but nobody is using. And when the internet is used, anybody can use even when he is not near the machine. He can use it at home. During Corona, we are doing webinar. Why we are doing webinar? Because we are not able to go to the factory. But even without Corona, you can see your machine performance on your mobile phone, on your laptop, on your iPad. So data availability and data using is one of the main reasons. And traceability. Traceability means what is the reason and why the problem is happening. Diagnosis is very important. Visibility. You can see the data on a real-time basis. Real-time means it is happening now, immediately you can see the information. Not next day, not next week. The shop floor operator can see, the supervisor can see, the manager can see, and even the MD can see. Visibility. So visibility, traceability, diagnosis, many reasons. I think later on we can have a separate program on industrial IoT for machine tools. We will bring in experts like Mr. Sunil Jha for the program. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, this is my first module I am completing. There are many reasons why machining solutions are changing in the last 20 years. High volume, high accuracy is not there anymore. In many sectors, it is changing. But even if some sectors are still requiring, there are solutions. Multiple varieties, small batch production, complex shapes and sizes, high precision, design and machining feasibility, leading to additive manufacturing, and real-time proactive performance monitoring, what is called digital manufacturing. So these are the reasons. And I come to the end of module 1. If anybody has put any questions on the text box, I can answer that. Mr. Harsh. If there are no questions, I can move on.
So we can allow a minute time to participants to put in the questions.
Yes. Now it is 11:41.
Yes.
See, these are small breaks, we have to give. Coffee break, tea break, water break. We call it health breaks. So no cigarette break. Cigarette is injurious to health. Any questions?
One question which I have received is that can you please explain about 4.0?
As I said, it is a big subject. We will have a separate program, but very briefly, how to use data coming from the machine tool in the machining solutions for the purpose of describing the current situation, diagnosing the reason for the problem, predicting what can happen in the future, and prescribing a decision how to modify the machining solution. In other words, there are 4 things: describing, diagnosing, predicting, prescribing with the help of data. And the data is not only directly coming from the machine, but it goes to the cloud. Cloud means internet. So Internet of Things means a machine is a thing. A mobile phone is a thing. Imagine Ola car. Are you able to hear me, Harsh?
Yes, sir.
Ola car. The Ola driver has got a mobile phone. The person booking the car has got a mobile phone. And the car is coming when you order the car. Uber, Ola car. Swiggy, Zomato, food. You order the food. The restaurant has got a mobile phone or internet. And the person bringing the motorcycle, idli, dosa, pizza, paranta, he has got a mobile phone. 3 mobile phones. Ordering person, delivering person, and the cooking person, restaurant. All are interconnected, and you can see when the Kana is coming, when the car is coming. So whether it is the Ola car or whether it is a Swiggy, Zomato, or whether machine tool application, tracing the data from the start to finish is enabled by Internet of Things. That is Industry 4.0. Separate session, we will have a 2-hour masterclass. Thank you. Can I move on now, Harsh?
Sir, received one more question.
I know, it will happen.
How is SPM a good strategy for machining tool manufacturer? Since cost overrun is more in SPMs and prove out of machine is difficult.
I can take this question later on as I am progressing. Very briefly, when the component volume per type of component is runs into 100,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 50,000, like that, and when the available time to produce is very small, then special purpose machine is the ideal solution. When the component volume is very high and the available time per component is very low, it is the ideal solution, special purpose machine. But the trend is changing to less volume and more variety, longer cycle times. Then you go for general purpose machine. I will put a very brief answer like this. Then we can move on to the presentation. Thank you.
So one more question which I have received is that what is the opportunity for a startup company?
That we will park it to the end.
Okay, sir.
Remember that question to the end. The person who asked the question himself will give the answer at the end. We will see. Now, my next module, I am looking at what are the drivers of a machine tool design, machine tool technology, machine tool production, and machine tool sales, machine tool service. Design, production, application, sales, service. Any function in machine tool, they must understand the value of the machine tool. What I mean by value of the machine tool? Some of the points I have written here. Safety, quality, efficiency. Efficiency includes productivity. Reliability, that means machine should be running all the time. No breakdown. Flexibility, it can run any component at any time. Visibility, I can see the information. Traceability, already I mentioned. I can see the reason why the problem is happening. Predictability, I can also predict what can happen tomorrow, next 1 hour, or even 1 week from now. So, very many values for the customer. I'll explain that little more. The picture is a horizontal machining center here from a company called Starog, which is a global company, which has been there for 150 years. 1863, it started. 1863, this company started. But this is the latest design. You can imagine. I will explain the value one by one. First, let us take productivity. Many of you who are attending today, I am sure you are all working from machine tool industry. In machine tool, there is something called cutting time. There is something called non-cutting time. There is something called pallet changing time. But you know, when there is a iron and steel, ferrous machining, cast iron, steel, alloys of steel, etc., the metal removal is very, very important. The depth of cut is very important. MRR, metal removal rate. So cutting time reduction becomes very, very important. Whereas when I do the non-ferrous machining, aluminum, the non-cutting time becomes very important. That means the tool changing time, the pallet changing time, fixture clamp unclamp time, so many things. Before the machining starts and after the machining ends, there is a lot of time is wasted. We call it as non-cutting time, which also includes the pallet change time. So in aluminum machining, why that is important? Because cutting time is very small. Aluminum is very easy to cut. The depth of cut also very low, 1 mm, 0.5 mm, like that. The reason is the foundry, in aluminum foundry, are very efficient. They can have very small machining allowance. Whereas casting foundry, cast iron foundry, they are not very efficient historically. They got a longer, bigger depth of cut. So technology is like that. So, and Japanese, they started looking at aluminum because many of the Japanese cars became lightweight cars. So aluminum was very important. Non-ferrous metals. So they went for high-speed machining centers, where non-cutting time and pallet chain time was very important. Whereas the Germans and Europeans, they look at high-performance machining centers, where the productivity, cutting time reduction, depth of cut, power, torque, spindle, etc. became very important. The Swiss people, they were looking at accuracy, always accuracy, because they came from the watch industry, the jewelry industry, the aerospace industry. So the accuracy on also machine tool industry. The Swiss has got many machine tools. So they focused on, I think all of you request you to switch off your video and audio, please. So they focused on precision. So the high precision machining centers came from Swiss, SIP jig boring from Switzerland. The Taiwan, Korean, China, they were focusing on the cost of the machine. The cost of the machine. So what happened? They were looking at how do we minimize the cost. So different people had different objectives and different countries were focusing on different aspects. That is how the industry evolved over a period of time. The next slide I am showing, see, we may not be able to cover all the slides, but if you understood something during this presentation, I am happy. Different industries, starting with two-wheelers, passenger car, light commercial vehicle, special utility vehicles, commercial vehicle like trucks, tractors, then valves industry, generator, compressor, plastic injection, windmill, construction, railway. All of them, as we go up the ladder, the size of the component, the complexity, they are all changing. So the value of the machine tool also goes up. When I say value, not only price, it is also the benefits and advantages to the customer. Becomes more and more demanding as we go up the ladder. Let us look at a small video, right? Harsh, you can tell me whether you are able to hear the video.
Okay, sir.
While you are seeing the video, I want you to make some notes as to what is the value parameters they are mentioning in this video. Harsh, you are able to hear the video? Sound?
Yes, sir.
The world is in a constant state of change and progress. Our world is made up of technical solutions that enable this progress. Regardless of the industry sector we are active in. Your needs are the focus of everything we do. Profitability, safety, and growth. We help you to change the world.
I'm just stopped for a second. The parameters of the value, stop typing on the text box all of you start typing on the text box. Some are mentioned, some are spelled out in the video, running commentary, some are not told. You can type out whatever you feel like. I'm starting it again.
How do we do this? That's very simple. We listen to you and ask the right questions. Talking with you about cost effectiveness, growth targets, and competitiveness. About ways to reduce your production costs and to increase efficiency. And how to simplify processes and maximize productive time. Developing optimum solutions tailored to your needs. We attach great importance to reducing processing costs and achieving shorter throughput times. Added security through improved delivery reliability, repeatable processes, and consistent production quality. And to increasing competitiveness by opening up new market segments. Creating measurable added value for you and contributing to your success. We help you to change the world. That is what we stand for. Engineering precisely what you value.
Very good. So I don't know, I'm not able to see the text box.
So some of the values which I have received is
Keep on reading it. Just read it out very quickly.
Productivity, competitiveness, reduce production cost, efficiency increase, develop optimum solutions, tailor-made customizations. Most of them are actually same. Cost effectiveness, simplify process, value for customer points of view. Again, the same thing, cost, reduce, process cost, customizations.
After some time, they stopped listening. They did not notice reliability, precision, and so many other parameters. Okay, so there are many things in this video. The recording will be sent later on. You can analyze at your home. It has got at least 25 things mentioned. So in a different masterclass, I would have conducted a quiz on this, but in online webinar, it's very difficult to do that. Let's move on to the next one. Now, value is the comparison between benefits and cost. You see, value is a tarasu, is a balance between benefits and costs. Sometimes we say, okay, machine value is 1 crore, but what is the benefit? If you get 1.5 crore worth of benefit for a 1 crore worth of machine, then we are happy. So value is always a comparison of benefits and costs. I'll explain that little more in the next slides. You see again the same tarasu. But here there is a two equation. Price of machine, value of machine. Low value, low price. High value, low price. Low value, high price. High value, high price. Can you all put in the text box which is the best combination? I will wait for 30 seconds. Which is the best combination of these 4 combinations? Okay, Harsh.
So most of the people have opted for high value, low price.
And others? Anybody? Other than that?
Only one change is there, which I can see. It says low value, high price.
Okay. And then? That's all. Anybody? Any more coming?
No, sir.
Okay. See the ranking now. The rank 1 is high value, high price. It depends on whether you're talking about the customer or the supplier. Of course. I agree with that gentleman. Most of them high value, low price from the customer point of view. High value, high price from the supplier point of view. But low value, high price cannot be acceptable neither from customer point of view nor from supplier point of view. Low value, low price, I think all of you will agree, nobody will agree. So low value, high price, according to me, neither supplier nor customer should look at. Value is low, that means customer not happy. High price, supplier happy, but you will not get orders. See, high price means you should get orders, no? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So the selected option is this. Even from customer point of view, people are willing to pay high price, provided the value is very high and the benefit of value is more than the cost. One example, we have in our machines what is called a roller linear guide, linear motion guide. Another example, hydraulic counterbalancing mechanism. I don't want to go into the technology of this, but people are willing to pay better price for roller linear motion guide instead of balls. Instead of balls, cylindrical roller, because it's more rigidity, long-term accuracy, durability. Machine will give same accuracy even after 10 years. So very, very important technology. Hydraulic counterbalancing. The spindle will not drop. In a die mold industry, it will not damage the mold. And even in high volume machining, it will not damage the component. People are willing to pay price for this. So the feature is very, very important, but benefits are more important than the feature. What is the benefit? Long-term accuracy and reliability are the benefits of these two. Now, I want to move on to the next subject. Well, the previous subject I have written, how to understand value and communicate to customer. Geared spindle with high torque, roller LM guide, thermosymmetric construction, linear scales in all XYZ axis, counterbalancing for spindle, cooling of hydraulic oil to maintain viscosity. All of them have got many advantages. All of them got values and benefits. Well, I'll take only one example. Roller LM guide, larger spindle bearings, wider span between LM guides. I think some of you are machine designers, some of you are machine manufacturers, some of you are maintenance people, some of you are sales and service people or customer application engineers. The rigidity in the machine design and construction is the advantage of this particular benefit. But the value and the benefit should be written as long-term accuracy, consistent quality delivered to the customer. So every machine element should be translated into advantage and translated into value and benefit. Let us move on to a subject called product versus solution approach. In the beginning, I talked about advanced manufacturing solutions for multiple sectors. That is the title of my program. What is solution? You have a tractor. The tractor has got a gearbox, and the gearbox is machined by a machining center. Let's say in this case, horizontal machining center, and or a vertical machining center. I can have a rotary table. So a subsystem called a rotary table, using in a machining center, a gearbox with a special fixture is supplied to a tractor. In this value chain, what is called customer value chain, every step is very, very important. The total solution is a machine tool plus the fixtures plus the cutting tools. That is represented in the next slide. Machine tool plus fixtures plus cutting tools make the customer happy. You can also add automation to that, robotics, gantry, industry 4.0, etc., etc. You may have a flexible manufacturing system, FMS system. All this put together is called a solution. Turnkey tooled up solution. I hope you are with me. I'll give some examples. Let's move on to the example. Swaraj Mahindra in Chandigarh purchased my machine. Not one machine, but 9 machines. But finally, when we delivered only Actual line had not 9 machines, only 7 machines. How we are able to achieve that? By a very, very clever way of doing fixturing and tooling. Cylinder block, cylinder head. Production in Swaraj Mahindra tractor production in Chandigarh. I don't want to get into the details of the technology, but suffice to say, when I give a machine along with fixtures and the appropriate tools, this is an example of Ashok Leyland. It's a 5-axis machining center to do the main bore and cam bore of cylinder block and also the engine bores of a V engine for Ashok Leyland. The V engine of a truck. Machine plus cutting tool plus fixtures and the rotary table in this case, what we call the A axis or B axis. The combination. See, it's not a technology seminar where I can explain you all these things. It's like a webinar. The combination of fixtures and the FMS system that gives you the benefit of what we call turnkey solution. Another example was a fixture which is inclined at 12.5 degree. This is an example where we replaced a special purpose machine with a general purpose machine. But still I can achieve the same level of volume and accuracy by a clever design of fixtures and tools. Another example is a gearbox of automobile industry, passenger cars. What is the benefit here? Single fixture was able to do all the surfaces of the component through a general purpose machine. Not required, we don't need a special purpose machine. Oil pump body of a car. One machine, cycle time was achieved, quality was achieved, and therefore the total value to the customer is acceptable. This is an optimized solution. Another example. This example I already told you, the inclined fixture and the Swaraj Mahindra. But the main point is finally we could do 300 components per day. Cycle time was 5 minutes and there is no quality problem. So in all these examples, I also mentioned we did with 7 machines instead of 9 machines. In all these examples, the machine tool, the fixtures and the cutting tools put together give the total solution. I was just trying to illustrate the concept of total solution because the investment cost, it was also there in the poll, quiz poll. The investment cost, we were higher than the competition, but customer still places the order on us. Why? Because the productivity of output per hour and the cost per part is the lowest in the industry. That cost per part is calculated as machine cost, depreciation, tool cost, fixture cost, consumable cost, maintenance cost, energy cost, and cost of downtime estimated. Because we gave the guarantee of the uptime. Then cost per part is arrived at. Another way of looking at is life cost, total life cost. Over a period of 10 years, machine investment, turnkey cost, running cost, annual depreciation, residual value. Running cost. That means the machine running cost, consumable cost, power generation, power, energy, coolant cost, cutting tool, the wear and tear of the cutting tool, all this put together is a running cost. Annual depreciation. Initial investment, final value. All this put together, total life cost is calculated. Compared with various competitors. Then the customer selects. So either cost per part or total life cost or the two methodologies with which customer is evaluating our machine. The examples are here. The flexible manufacturing system given to one customer the total life cost was the lowest in the industry. Examples of machine tool parts, oil and gas valves industry, defense industry parts, aerospace parts. I have supplied machine tool with this kind of systems for all these applications. What we call flexible manufacturing system, where we look at the volume and the variety. There are two axes. Can you see the graph, Harsh? Can you see the graph?
Yes, sir.
Volume, x-axis, variety, y-axis. When the volume is low volume, but the variety is high, I use job shop approach, standalone numerically controlled machines, job shops. That's why many MSMEs come up in this country. Very low volume, very high variety. Ideal for MSMEs. A friend asked, what about startup ventures? Correct? There is a question. Startup ventures, they try to start here. Very low volume, very high variety. That is the right answer for startup ventures. And then they become entrepreneurs, small enterprises. Then they become medium enterprises. As they grow into larger enterprise, they can do high volume but low variety. Tata Motors, Bajaj, TVS Motor, Maruti Suzuki. High volume, low variety. They use special purpose machines, transfer lines. But the medium sized companies can handle medium type of variety and medium type of volume through what is called flexible manufacturing systems. But this could be a company, this could be a division of a large company also. Or a small company can grow into a medium company and use a flexible manufacturing system. Or a large company can migrate from transfer lines, high volume mass production, to flexible manufacturing system. So the graph of volume and variety will determine what kind of solution is used by which company. What is the purpose? The purpose is to reduce the total running cost per part, and to reduce the total life cost. So all these examples are finally leading to not only investment cost, initial investment cost, but total life cost and total cost per part. That brings me to the end of my module 2. You can shoot your questions on the text box. I'll just come back. Please shoot your questions. Harsh.
Yes, sir. So one question which I have received, it asks, how can we help our customers doing CNC machining increase machining profitability? Any questions from the participants? As I have received only 1 or 2 questions so far.
Yes, Mr. Harsh.
Received.
I took a small health break.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So the question which I have received ask how many times is the FMS costlier than standalone machine?
Can the gentleman send a mail to me? Because that's a very specific. See, when you talk about cost, we have to be very careful. It depends on the component being machined in that particular company. I want this gentleman to send me what is his component, what is the application, and by a mail. But very important point is, in that case study where FMS was supplied along with machines. See, FMS is only a material handling system. You still require the machines. The cost of the FMS in the typical case study was 2 times if I had given only standalone machines. But the productivity was 4 times. The productivity was 4 times. So the cost per part was 50% of the cost per part if it is only standalone machine. The cost per part became 50% of the standalone machine cost per part because productivity became 4 times, even though investment was 2 times. But in addition to that, the variety and the quality cannot be managed with standalone machines. This requires a special webinar by itself. Flexible manufacturing system can be a 2-hour webinar. I can call some experts even from abroad to talk about it. So suffice to say, cost is one of the aspects. Then the quality and the variety, handling variety. We call it customized mass production, which means what? The volume is there, but still variety is very high. Examples I told you, machine tool industry. Here it is. Examples are here.
So one more question which I have received. Actually, it's not a question. They are requesting for the tips to reduce the cycle time of heavy machining components.
Coming. It's coming.
Okay.
But why am I not able to move the slide? I didn't stop sharing. You see, machine tool parts have got volume and variety. Oil and gas parts, volume and variety. Defense industry parts, volume and variety. Aerospace parts, volume and variety. If you notice, I did not write automobile parts. But even in automobile industry, companies like Ashok Leyland, Tata Motor, and John Deere, flexible manufacturing systems have been implemented because the Indian volume of the Indian market is very low compared to the global volumes. But two-wheeler industry is a different concept. Two-wheeler industry uses gantry robotic solutions. One, because the parts are small, the variety is still there, but the volume is very high, 10 lakhs. They're not talking about 1 lakh, they're talking about 10 lakhs. Coming to the tips on machining, that will be my program in the 3rd module. The tips are not specific to, it cannot be generalized across the type of parts. I will explain why. Value through unique machining applications, I call it, the 3rd module. The machine can be a compact machine. It may be addressing a complex shape. The machinability of the metallurgy may be very difficult, like inconel, titanium, etc. I mentioned to you. Productivity may be very important. Large parts sometimes are becoming a big challenge. Windmill industry, aerospace industry. Long-term accuracy is very important. Jig boring, helicopter gearbox. Very high reliability is required in all the machines. Durability is slightly different from reliability. Energy saving is becoming very important. Safety extremely important. Complex application. Multiple tasks on the same part. Multiple parts in the same machine. And flexibility, I already mentioned about variety of parts. And last but not the least, automation capability. And intelligent machining. These are many factors are governing the choice of machining applications. Let us talk about one very interesting case study. I'll come back to this. Let us look at the complex machining. The question is asked by somebody. Harsh, what are the other questions?
Yes, sir.
What are the other questions in the interval?
So one general question is there. They're asking that in current pandemic situation, what is the future of industries in coming years, because productivity is severely hit?
Okay, that is a very generic question. We will take it at the end.
Okay, sir.
I did a separate session on that. I'm ready to do it for Capital Goods Council. How does the pandemic affect all our industries and what is the response? It's a 2-hour webinar we can do on that. Very briefly, the pandemic has accelerated some of the new technologies. When people are not available in factories, they started investing in automation. When the migration of labor happened, manual tasks were being done by people with their own hands are now getting replaced by automation. When remote working is happening, when people are sitting at home and monitoring factories, IoT enabled systems, augmented reality and artificial intelligence have got adopted faster and faster, even in the Indian market. So I don't want to get into the great depth of that pandemic issue. We will park it at the end, if time permits, or a separate session. Now look at this particular picture. There are so many components: engine casing, blisks and impellers, structure parts, impeller again, emergency door. Can you all guess these parts belong to which? They belong to an aircraft. All of them belong to an aircraft. Why am I taking aircraft example? Because today's topic is advanced machining solutions for several sectors, not the ordinary stuff. All these components in the old method, this requires a different machine. Engine casing will require a different type of VTLs and vertical turning grinding machines. Blisks and impellers require a different type of 5-axis machining centers. Emergency door will require a different type of 5-axis machining centers, etc. But the modern method used to have one machine which can address all these components through turnkey solution. I will show you some videos based on the time available to illustrate this point. Emergency door. 97% of the metal is removed in machining of an emergency door. The old method was consuming 34 hours to make one door. To make one door, it required 34 hours. Today, it requires only 11 hours. milling strategy for blisk manufacturing. Blisks and impellers. I will show you a video now. There are broadly two methods of producing blisks. Both are 5-axis methods. Milled from solid block. 75% of the metal is removed. You can see that side is still not machined. This side is machined. It's a solid block. Another method is linear friction welding. Harsh, I'm getting one small window. I don't know whether it is from your computer.
No, sir, this is not from my side. I think it
The
has
cycle, okay,
got reduced.
Yeah, it goes and comes back. The cycle time reduction is very, very important. At the same time, the quality, particularly in these corners, the fillet radius, as we call it, in the corner, when the blade is attached to the shaft. Very, very important. Otherwise, it will crack. The aircraft will crash. Hundreds of people will lose their life. The surface finish of these surfaces are very, very important. By an optimized selection of cutters. Now, if somebody is asking questions, sir, what are the cutters? That's a separate webinar. We need a cutting tool manufacturer and machine tool manufacturer to together come. Harsh, we can make a note of this. We can have, for example, a cutting tool manufacturer like Tosher, Gusti, or a Kennametal, or Sandvik, or whoever, Tagutek. Then a machine tool manufacturer together can have a webinar explaining how to achieve the quality and the cycle time of a component like this. Are you with me, Harsh? Make a note.
Yes, sir.
We will arrange that. See, these are all will be chargeable webinars in the future. I will now show some videos so people can appreciate what is happening here. So, in that video, between each blade, there is a special material liquefied and poured between the two blades, and it gets solidified. It's like a puff material. In the refrigeration, people, they use puff. High density puff. In this case, it's a low density puff. And while the machining takes place, the puff material is removed. Already rough machining is over, then the puff is poured. Then you machine it. The advantage is the two blades are kept without distortion by this puff material. While machining is going on, there should be no more distortion. And still the surface finish has to be achieved. And the fillet radius at the end has to be achieved. It's a 5-axis machining center. Another example.
MTD CNC, bringing you the latest engineering news via video media.
Now, Bernard, the Starreg STC 800. Now, big part of your business is casings. Could you tell us a little bit more about the casing market?
Well, casing has always been one of our core competencies. For us, well, it's maybe not that obvious, but there are still some distinct challenges that come to machining casings. First is we have challenging materials. We have titanium, we have nickel-based alloys, we have high accuracy, we have difficult access to certain features, especially on the inside and so on. So again, for us, it is our goal to have the most dedicated and most advanced solution for our customer. So this means we have to understand the process, we have to understand everything around the process, we have to integrate things like milling and turning. We have a competence in fixture designs for that, for milling flimsy sections of the part, but also the issue of machining the internal features. Those are problems like back chamfering, those are things like using angle heads. We, for example, offer a solution where we have an automated tool change into an angle head, and with that we hope that we can offer a complete package to our customers, giving them the competitive edge they need.
And how many machines in the portfolio would be aimed at the casing market that you produce at Starrag?
Well, what we have is basically we have machining centers from a pallet size between 800 and what may.
Okay. So, Harsh, can you come on the video?
Yes, sir.
So, just an example I showed you. Now, there is a big challenge in what is called MRO industry. Maintenance, repairs and overhauling. Let us say aircraft has landed and they found there is a problem in the engine. They want to repair the impeller or blisk which going into the air compressor of a jet engine. How to repair it? The combination of additive manufacturing and adaptive machining. There are two technologies. Adaptive machining and additive manufacturing are used to repair the existing blisk or impeller. This is done by a company called Toolroom Technology Limited from England. So there are many concepts in machining solutions. This adaptive means based on the profile and the metallurgy, the tool path and the tool feed and speed will vary. The tool speed and feed will vary and the tool path can vary. That is called the adaptive machining. That is almost like Industry 4.0, but we did it 15-20 years back. Another thing is additive manufacturing. The laser calibration is done and metal is deposited and then adaptive machining is used to arrive at the final part. Then turbine blades is a big subject. Single blades. A machine, a cutting tool and a type of fixture. All combined, you get turbine machining solution. I see I'm giving only an overview today. Those of you are interested can write to me about individual application for your own company. I can reply back with the detail. We can have separate webinars on particular application. Particular application webinar will be on chargeable basis. Capital Goods Council will decide the fees and the date. And imagine the surface finish of the blades is very important. It's a special purpose machine. This is a special purpose machine, SPM. Somebody asked about SPM. It was invented 60 years back. Until now, it is very popular. Perhaps the leader in the market in the world. Doing all the single blades for steam turbines, gas turbines, starting with 100 millimeter long blade, 100 millimeter, 10 centimeter long blade, up to 4 meter, 4000 millimeter long blade can be machined by these kind of machines. Some blades are very complex. The blade has got a fin like the fish. And some are titanium blades, very rigid, tough materials. Titaniums are very tough materials, right? And still I have to achieve a surface finish of N6. Surface finish is very important in all the blades. Sometimes I have to do the machine of the blade and the root of the blade. The root is what is going into the turbine shaft. I have to do the root and the blade simultaneously. Not separately. Old technology is root separate machine, blade separate machine. But the quality is not achieved between the root and the blade. So the modern technology is advanced technology, combine the blade and the root in one machine. So whether it is a fin machining or titanium tough material machining or root and blade machining combined, etc. And machining from forging to different shapes and sizes. All these challenges are managed by this kind of special purpose machines. The cost per part is still the lowest, lower cost per part, you see. The machine itself is costly. It's 7 crore, for example. An ordinary machine may be 1 crore. But you need 14 such ordinary machines, so 14 crores, to produce the same volume of number of parts compared to a 7 crore one machine. So that means 50% cost per part comes down. But the quality of the 14 machine, very poor quality. It is still running in Hyderabad and many people, and they are all changing over. There are 10 small companies, entrepreneurs in Hyderabad and Ahmedabad and Bangalore have changed from old concept of 1 crore value machine to new concept of 7 crore value machine, and still very happy, profitable for the steam turbine and gas turbine industry. Because the process stability is very good, product reliability is very good, cost per part is very low. Not the investment cost, cost per part and total life cost. Remember that point always. Inconel blade machining. Look at how the noise of the machining is. Inconel is a very tough, nasty material. Look at the noise. So, here I gave the example of tough material. Earlier it was complex shapes. Now I am talking about tough material. Now look at the next example. Here it's aluminium, but very large structure for an aircraft. Aircraft fuselage, imagine the length, runs into 20 meters, 30 meters like that. Yeah. And here, aluminium have to be removed at the 10 liters per minute. 10,000 cc per minute of aluminium have to be removed. And when the chips are going into the drum, it becomes 10 times. That means 100 liters per minute of chips in the drum. Scrap drum, you know, the chips are falling. How do we do this? And still quality is very important. The turning radius, all these are very important. And Starrock came out with a patented design called parallel kinematic spindle. See, I told you in the beginning, it is advanced machining solutions. It is not an ordinary machining solution like a lathe and milling, VMC, HMC, all gone. Now the whole world is moving towards advanced machining solutions for every sector. I will show you some more sectors. I am not showing only aerospace. Now, this integral motor spindle is put inside what is called parallel kinematic device, which is called a Sprint Z3. And such a large machine. And you can see the video now.
Aerotech ist einer der weltweit führenden Zulieferer für zivile und militärische Flugzeugstrukturen. Und wir sind hier auch ein wichtiger Partner für europäische und auch internationale Flugzeugprogramme. Hier am Standort Farel zersparen wir da Groß- und Kleinbauteile aus Titan und Aluminium. Da brauchen wir hocheffiziente Maschinen dafür, am besten Maschinen eben, die auch voll.
I think he's speaking in German. What he's saying is, these very large components require a special fixture. They are all air-operated fixture, not hydraulic fixtures. If you use hydraulic fixtures, the component will bend. It can't be fitted into aircraft. And it has to be very carefully handled. It's aluminium. and it's a thin structure. Before machining, okay, it's a thick structure, but during machining, after machining, it becomes very thin structure. While machining also, it has to be held very carefully. So that's what he's telling in German language.
Automatisiert sind und voll vernetzt sind. Mit der EcoSpeed F2040 verfügen wir dann über 2 hocheffiziente Zentren für die Zerspannung von.
While machining, you see, around the spindle, there is a bellow cover. The bellow cover is made of metallic bellow. It prevents the chips going into the spindle for improving the service reliability. Because we are machining 10 liters per minute, 10,000 cc per minute of aluminium.
Aluminiumbauteilen der 4-Meter-Klasse. Das Gute ist, dass wir eben mit diesen Maschinen voll vernetzt arbeiten können, automatisiert und eben auch hochproduktiv.
Unsere enorme Leistungsfähigkeit im Bereich der Zerspannung wollen wir noch weiter verbessern und dafür setzen wir insbesondere auf verkettete, automatisierte und digitale Lösungen, wo Starrag gute Ansatzmöglichkeiten bietet, sich noch weiter in Zukunft zu verbessern. Also seit Jahren pflegen wir eine intensive Kooperation mit.
Okay, because of time constraint, I'm not showing the full video. Very, very important point for today's webinar. I know 1 o'clock we plan to stop, but any of you questions, I can take it up. But before that, very, very important, the precision. When I do a helicopter gearbox, see, previously I showed you about productivity. Now I'm talking about accuracy, reliability, productivity. We talked about the values in the beginning. See, entry level productivity precision is 7 micron. And then less than 7 micron. Then below 5 micron, and then below 2 micron. Here we are not talking about the size accuracy. We are talking about the positioning accuracy. What is positioning accuracy? Suppose I drill one hole or bore one hole or ream one hole, then I move to the next hole, I drill, ream or bore. The hole to hole accuracy is called positioning accuracy of the machine tool. When the tool is picked up and put back, another tool is coming, put back, every time the accuracy is disturbed. And most of the machines made in India follow in this category, entry level. But as we go to Europe and Japan, it goes upward. The highest accuracy is made in Switzerland, in a place called Geneva, by SIP company, SIP. Some of you may be knowing SIP jig boring. The SIP jig boring, you can see the brand name SIP, is used for helicopter gearbox. Look at the complex shape, 1 micron positioning accuracy. And we call it as ultra precision machining, not ordinary precision, ultra precision. Gearbox, gearbox, gearbox. Even in HAL Bangalore, I have supplied one such machine to do the gearbox of the helicopter. Successfully running, implemented. It is not cheap. It is a costlier machine than all other players. Normally in tender process, L1, L2, L3, you should lose the order. But quality is given a weightage. Please understand, even public sector gives a weightage for quality and technology. We have a wrong understanding that only the price is given the weightage by the customer. No. Even in tendering process, go for quality, reliability and quality. And there is special machine which is horizontal machining center with jig boring capability. Have a look at this video. It's a 5-axis machining center called SPC, Super Precision Machining Center. Showing full video. It is a jig boring machine, but designed as a horizontal machining center with a tool magazine. So it's a combination of a tool magazine, horizontal machining center, and a jig boring. We call it super precision machining center. And this falls in the pyramid here between 3 micron and 5 micron. We have in HAL and in other companies like BHL, BML, ultra precision jig boring machine and super precision machining centers. And jet engine casing. No coolant is used in the machining. You can see the amount of heat is generated. It's a titanium machining. And many setups are required. All the setups are done in one setup. Integrity milling, turning, grinding. Integration. It means integrity milling means integration of milling, turning and grinding, all the three in one setup. Because I cannot keep moving the component. It will lose its accuracy. It will lose its accuracy and precision. And we use a unique angle head and a special head to do the drilling of various holes. Positioning accuracy is 0.5 micron. 1 micron is 1/1000th of a millimeter. 0.5 micron positioning accuracy between the holes. It's a jet engine casing. So when you fly an aircraft, you can imagine what is the safety requirements. Then there is a special company in France called Berthy. What they do, turning and grinding with a 2 spindle or single spindle. And they can do complete jet engine parts. They can also do housings of large bearings. You know, I visited a company called FAG in Europe, FAG. They use these Berthy machines. Z is silent, Berthy. They use a large machine to use a bearing of a windmill. Imagine the bearing of a windmill. The concentricity and axial runout is less than 2 micron. Concentricity and axial runout is less than 2 micron. Another example is jewelry market. Medical implants and jewelry market. Those days jewelry was making, even in Surat, they started buying these machines. They were making with the old conventional method, investment casting. That's gone. Now it's all done by machine. Why? You can design and launch a jewel within 2 days. Design, machine, launch the new jewelry in 2 days. Old method, 3 months. Design to launch is 3 months. Titan, Tanishq, a big company in A1 Jewelers, Emerald Jewelers in Coimbatore, companies in Surat, all moved out to this concept. One small video for you. It is done by a special purpose machine called Buma Tech, made in Switzerland. The machine can do watch parts, it can do jewelry parts, it can do aircraft jet engine nozzles, it can also do medical parts. I showed you this video, see the number of operations performed on the component by a single machine. Several operations are performed. In the slide, it was showing which are the operations, 7 operations. We can talk about it in another webinar, but these are special purpose machines producing mass production of watches, jewelries, medical implants, jet engine nozzles, and so on and so forth. It has got 7 axes. And avionics, I forgot to mention, avionics, gyroscope, 7 axis machining center from a company called Bumatech. Cycle time is the lowest, cost per part. Initial investment 3 crore, 4 crore, 5 crore, like that. But cost per part, total life cost is the lowest in this category. And companies like Titan, Coimbatore, Emerald, Surat, many companies already using these machines. In addition, some of the defense industries are using this for gyroscope and other applications. Aerospace also, rocket, ISRO. Additive manufacturing. Separate webinar we will have. Harsh will make a note. But suffice to tell you, complex shapes and complex designs cannot be used by metal cutting. You need a metal adding. Metal cutting is subtractive, metal adding is additive. 3D printing. And because of time constraint, I'm moving on to another sector, valve machining. Valves, you see the valves, oil and gas, water, hydraulics. They use special head. This one head can do turning, drilling, milling operations. That too with a very high torque, 1700 Newton meter torque. Unique head technology, spindle technology. It has got separate radial movement and also axial movement. We call it U axis and W axis. You know about XYZ axis and A, B axis. Now U axis, W axis. Through coolant supply. Let's look at one video here. I don't want to show the full video. We are already reaching the end of the session. And the Q&A is very important. I am waiting for your questions also. But DBF is basically turning, drilling and milling, including external operation, which is very, very important. And that operation you saw in the video, and many milling and drilling, complete to make a valve, this kind of valves. You know, so in advanced application, then multitasking. Multitasking means turning, drilling, boring, milling, everything is combined. There is one more video, but due to time, I am not showing that. Windmill industry, maybe the last but one application. Several machines are running in Coimbatore and in Chennai. There are 24 machines of our company running in this thing. I am not showing this because it is produced by a Starrock company. I am showing it for you to understand for every sector, what is the advanced machining solution per sector available in the market. My purpose is not to sell that Starrock brand. No. That's why nowhere you will see the word Starrock appearing here. But to show you the application, what is available in the market. There are other people also. For example, a large gearbox is done through two methods, two combinations. One is by a horizontal machining center. Another is by a turning center. Now look at this. The horizontal machining center, 5, 3, 2. Around 10 machines are running to do the gearbox of a windmill. Look at the size of the gearbox. The gearbox is 3 times taller than the human being. 3 times taller than a human being. It is done in a horizontal machining center. Look at the size of the machine. Yeah. And such a large machine. Okay, this is one of the smaller gearboxes. There is a bigger gear machine, BHC 3500, 5500. This is a pallet size, 5.5 meter pallet size. And the boring is done by a very special concept. The boring is done by a very special concept. Another example, landing gear of a aircraft. Landing gear. Many operations are done simultaneously or one after another. But the landing gear is not moved. It is kept without changing setup. It is the same fixture. Same fixture. And it is mounted and machined by a company called Droop and Rain or Mitsubishi. All these companies are making what is called double column machines. Gantry or Gantry or Portal double column machines. Multiple tasking and multiple tools are used to make a landing gear. This is how even inside the machine, there is a universal spindle. Universal spindle, it is even better than a 5-axis spindle. It can go for 270 degrees, spherical movement. To do very large parts of a landing gear, aircraft structure, turbine structures, yeah, steam turbine, shafts, etc. And also composite machining. Okay, now we almost come to the end of the session. Yeah, in defense industry, we gave this very large V engine, 4 large horizontal machining center, FMS system, 2000 tools mounted on the machine, 2000 cutting tools mounted on the machine, 8 fixtures, but total number of fixtures, 50 fixtures, because there are different engines going into the tank. There are different types over the history of last 40, 50 years or 70 years of Indian defense industry. FMS system already explained to you. This is an Indian installation, FMS system. Already explained to you FMS system. There are nice videos, but due to time, I will not go into that. Safety, automation, intelligence. When we do Industry 4.0 webinar, I will cover the safety, automation, intelligent, and also FMS system. That is my promise to you. When we do Industry 4.0 session, we will cover FMS system, video, safety video, automation video, intelligent video, and energy saving videos. So I will stop here. To summarize, the sector like aerospace, power generation, oil, natural gas, transport, industrial, watches, jewelry, medical, micro mechanic, very small parts. Everything require different solution. But the common feature across the solution is a machine tool which can cover more than one application. If a machine tool can cover more than one application, it is good for the customer because market is uncertain. COVID has come, my industry is suffering. One of your participants told us. Yeah, I can take that question now. Harsh, you can come to the Q&A.
Thank you very much, sir.
You can take up that question on COVID to begin with. Then we'll go to the other questions.
Okay, sir.
Somebody asked a question, what do we do in the COVID and all?
So basically, it was a question that how to overcome the present scenario, which was impacted by COVID-19. as far as productivity is concerned?
You see, the COVID has created many problems. One problem is people availability, skilled people availability. Second problem is demand of the customer is fluctuating. Third problem is demand of the supplier is fluctuating. First problem is demand for resources, people. People demand is, supply is fluctuating. Migrant labor not available. He has gone to Bihar and other places. Or upcountry in every state, they've gone to the green zones. Nice place, no? Green zones, they've gone there. From the urban cities, they've gone to green zone. Nice. No more corona. But it's not available. And customer demand is fluctuating. Supply is fluctuating. Three challenges. So, how people have responded? My friends in the aircraft industry are the first one to start production in Bangalore. Dynamatic, Sasmos. HAL never stopped. HAL continuous production going on. Only 1 week or 3 weeks they stopped because Prime Minister told. He requested for a 21-day lockdown. After that, the aircraft industry opened up. Why? People say, sir, no flight is flying. Why aircraft industry? But defense industry, aircraft is working. Military aircraft is working all over the world. Military aircraft is working. How did they manage? They use many concepts. One of them is when skilled person not available, they go for automation, robotics, gantry solution, Cobos. Cobos means it's a combination of a robo and man. Collaborative robo, they call it. Believe me, it is exploding. I think other day, Capital Goods Council did a webinar on collaborative robo by Mr. Pradeep David of Universal Robo. Assembly lines are getting automated. Machining, more and more machining is getting integral with automation. One person is operating 3 machines. Earlier, one person operated 1 machine and standing. Even in public sector, they go and sit in the table. Now one person has to operate 3 machines because other 2 are absent. They cannot come to work. So aircraft industry started first in the month of May. Automobile industry started in June. They're all running at 75%, 80% employment workforce is working. When the demand is fluctuating, they are adapting the line for different components. I know for a fact a 2-wheeler company started producing oxygen, what they call is ICU. Harsh, uska naam kya hai? Ventilator. Oxygen ventilator. They manufactured because the 2-wheeler handlebar is looking similar to the oxygen ventilator. So 2-wheeler company was the first to start manufacturing ventilator for Corona ICU. Then tractor company and other people started adapting. All over the world, not only India. 3D printing became more popular during Corona because spare parts are not available. Supplier has gone bankrupt or whatever. He is not getting the people to run it. So people immediately bought a small machine, 3D printing, 2 crore worth, make the part, spare parts to be made. Maybe three numbers. But without the spare part, machine cannot work, equipments are stopped, aircraft cannot run, earth mover cannot run. So they have to make spare parts very fast. And data capturing became very important. Why? Experts are working at home or in a central office. Shop floor people are in the factory. And social distance, 2 meters. So they told, okay, for every 2 operator, 1 operator will work at a home. It happened actually in automobile industry. The working out of home operator is a more skilled person. So he does what is called augmented reality. A Calcutta company manufacturing tractors, they trained all their workers for augmented reality, AR. So Corona or no Corona, economy is running. Food and beverage industry never stopped. That's why we are all surviving, we are eating kana. Hotel industry suffered. Automobile industry running at 60% capacity. Aircraft industry running at 80% capacity. at least for defense industry. So from 0 to 100%, many industries are running. Food and beverage running at 130% capacity. Delivery company like Amazon, etc., first 2 months they suffered. Now anything you can order Amazon, Flipkart, it comes to home. Big basket. Next question, Harsh.
So the next question is very interesting. In fact,
yeah, I forgot one more. Any one machine, if it can do multiple industry parts, I can jump from one industry to another industry. Earlier it was not possible. When demand is changing, automobile reduction, aircraft increasing, then can I move the machine from automobile line to aircraft line? Watches reducing, jewelry increasing. Can I move from watch to jewelry? So people are thinking how to flexibly move from the same machine from one production to another production. It is going on right now. Yeah, next question.
Sir, as we are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, what are the hurdles in India becoming cost competitive in manufacturing?
The Indian market hurdles are unique to India. Whether it is Atmanirbhar Bharat or otherwise, our economy suffers from the two major issues: infrastructure issues, which causes logistics problem, transport problems, and our laws, our regulatory requirements. Labor law, taxation law, regulatory requirements. Even other democratic countries, nearby countries, have addressed these two problems. Infrastructure problem, look at Malaysia, Singapore, China. They don't have any infrastructure problem. Their regulatory requirements are very flexible. People are more happy there. This is even before Corona. After Corona, of course, they are predicting 88 million people or 80 million people, 8 million people now, which is a huge impact on a populous country like ours. That's a nature's fury. Nobody can control that. But through various new concepts, people are managing, surviving. So year 2020 is not something where anybody can solve the problem. No. The vaccine has to come, and then 2021, second half, slowly we will come back. But when we come back, I'm telling you, India will revive faster than all other countries, because we have that fighter mentality, and our entrepreneurs will go for it. They will try to make up the loss made in 2021, and they go 20, and then they go all out. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is all about MSME development. See, OEMs have got a cash flow. They are managing. So MSMEs are looking at how to introduce automation, how to train the people. Skilling is very important. Capital Goods Skill Council is addressing how to skill the people, reskill the people, upskill the people, create multiple skills, multi-skilling. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is about technology, about people. Rather, people first, then technology. Self-reliant India. It's a big subject. I will address it in another way now. Next one, Harsh.
So one question which we have already got before also, that what is the opportunity for a startup company in machining tool industry?
Yes, I told a startup company will have to look at low volume, high variety business segments. For example, if they got a 2 crore, better you start additive manufacturing. Because if you buy one horizontal machining center with 2 crore, your flexibility, you will not get high volume demand immediately from customers. A startup company, very difficult business development. But a startup company can enter new technology through innovation. Additive manufacturing is one area. Micro mechanics is one area. don't do what others are doing. That means you are an innovative company. There are many innovation potential projects are available. Startupindia.com. People are posting the projects. Incubation centers are coming across the country. Other day I attended a webinar. Israel is promoting startup companies in India. Israel. Through a concept called Startup Nation. Israel, it calls itself a startup nation. So try to go for where nobody has entered yet. Can you make COVID ventilators at a cost below 100 rupees? I'm just throwing a challenge. If a startup company can get into innovation, either for low cost production or for an item which nobody else has made, differentiated production. Either low cost or different. You can't do both. If you can combine the two, you can create a new market. That is called the blue ocean market. Low cost market is red ocean, where a lot of fight is going on. Differentiated market is green ocean. Very few people, players. But blue ocean means cost also low, innovation also very high. Startup companies should enter blue ocean market. About blue ocean strategy, we will address in another webinar. I'll call some experts for that. Any other?
Sir, one very important question which we have received.
I will add one more thing. I'll add one more suggestion. Special cutting tools. Special cutting tools can be an area for startup companies. I tell you, one Swiss company introduced what is called deburring cutting tool. Deburring cutting tool. And when I introduced for Swaraj Mahindra, everybody was doing deburring by special separate operation, manually or otherwise. But we introduced a deburring cutting tool in the magazine, tool magazine. At the end of the process, the cutting tool will do deburring and come out. I'm sorry, I'm eating into the lunchtime, but this deburring cutting tool is done by an innovative company in Switzerland. So startup companies can enter into innovative cutting tools. And the last example is special fixtures. Startup companies can enter into special fixtures, air operated fixtures, aerospace manufacturing fixtures. So don't get into machine tool industry, get into solutions. Startup company can become solution oriented companies. Application oriented people, I know who have left Makino, Starog and all, have set up separate startup companies without any investment. 5 people, experts joined together and started a startup company in Bangalore and Pune. They are doing very well now. What they do only application and sometimes they do after sales service. Only 2 things. So many ideas you can think. Low investment and expertise. You use your expertise. Next, Harsh.
Sir, how we can implement advanced machine tool with robotics in manufacturing sector?
Well, I showed you my very first slide. Right? What is the purpose of a robo? 5 Ds. The dirty, the dangerous, yeah, the distance, social distance, the difficult. There are many areas where human being cannot do. Dirty areas, hazardous areas. You need robots. Oil rig. Human being cannot even go to the ocean, into the ocean. Dangerous areas. Foremost, petrochemical industries, maintenance. Mining industry, maintenance. Yeah. Social distance. You need a robo in between. 2 human beings in between robo. That's why the Kobo has become popular. And difficult. Human being cannot carry more than 15 kilograms. Your robo can carry and mount it. They are called machine tending robots. So there are many reasons why the robo can combine along with machine. I can ask some of our colleagues to do a special webinar on robos. Harsh, you can make a note.
Okay, sir.
I have a very interesting company in Bangalore who's doing a lot of work on, it's a small enterprise. See, I want to put the small enterprise to do the webinar. Not only Fanuc and ABB and all for robos. Because then we can promote this Atmanirbhar Bharat. Next question.
Sir, the next question.
By the way, in India, there are 10,000 robots already running in India. In automobile industry, welding, automobile industry, assembly, etc. It's running across the country. 10,000 robots and cobos are running. But still, our penetration is 4 robots for 1,000 people. Only 4 robots for 1,000 people. Global average penetration is 100 robots for 1,000 people. So we have a huge potential to introduce robots in this country. Yes, Mr. Harsh.
So how we help our customers doing CNC machining increase machining profitability?
I explained you. For the customer, machining profitability comes from achieving quality and productivity, not one of the two. Quality, productivity, and using the machine for 24 hours. 24 hours, not 21 hours. Not 5 days a week, 7 days a week. So these 3 factors are called availability, quality, and cycle time, productivity. Productivity means achieved cycle time divided by quality means number of good parts produced divided by total number of parts produced. Uptime availability means total time machine is available to run divided by 24/7. When you multiply these 3 factors, quality, availability, and productivity, you get what is called overall equipment effectiveness, OEE. All of you write it down. Overall equipment effectiveness. I didn't explain it. One of my slides, it was there, but I didn't explain. OEE. The profitability of an entrepreneur using machine is coming by maximizing quality, maximizing productivity, and maximizing availability. OEE. That's a simple answer to the simple question. On OEE, we can have a separate webinar. Harsh, you have to note down all this webinar topics.
Okay, sir.
Not by me. There are experts available. There is somebody who can talk 2 hours on OEE. Next, sir.
So next question is basically that
And
what
I
is
want
the
to tell
government?
you. No, and I want to tell you, profitability comes from cost per part and total life cost. And that gives you return on investment. Go ahead, please. Next question.
So what is the government plan to promote Industry 4.0?
Very good question. Department of Heavy Industry, Ministry of Heavy Industry, central government, in 2017, they established what is called Samarth Udyog, smart manufacturing and rapid acceleration hub is abbreviation Samarth Udyog. That is called Smart Manufacturing Department. Under the department, 5 centers have been established across the country with 75% government money and 25% private money funding. These are at IIT Delhi. These are at Indian Institute of Science, IIT Kharagpur, Kirloskar at Pune, and Central Machine Tool Technology Institution, Bangalore. There, another 10 more centers are going to come. Another 100 centers will come in the next 5 years, with or without government funding. Government will not fund all of them. They'll just fund 5, another 10. That's all. But then many multiplier effect will happen to promote the awareness and implementation of Industry 4.0, even for small and medium enterprises. That is the goal of the government. Next question.
So this is going to be the last question of the session. And the question is very interesting, in fact. I was also looking forward for this particular question. It asks that what is the future of machine tool industry after the introduction of electrical vehicles?
You see, there is a transition from fuel-based vehicles to the electrical vehicles. Fully fuel-based currently running, fully electrical will run 10 years from now. The in-between transition is called hybrid vehicles. Toyota is taking the lead in the world to introduce hybrid vehicles. And the hybrid vehicle means combination of old fuel technology and electrical technology. Believe me, in the hybrid vehicle, 75% of the machined parts of the conventional technology will continue. In the electrical vehicle, 50% of the machined parts will still continue. So the machine tool industry will not die. It will still be need to produce 75% of the components of the car in hybrid vehicles and 50% of the components of the car in electrical vehicles. For example, transmission. See, remember, all these are only converting the engine, which is a power source. But what about transmission? What about differential gearbox? What about braking system? Power steering? These are all still there. So don't worry. You can go through Google, and this is only my 75%, 50% is my own guesswork. But broadly, I'm telling, nothing will disappear. If it disappears, all these companies making CNC machining centers have to look for, not closing down, other applications in other sectors. Instead of automobile, the company has to start making aircraft parts, or oil and gas parts, or jewelry parts, or medical implant parts, or industrial parts, or machine tool parts, or rocket parts. You have to adapt from one sector to another sector. That is why today's webinar is called Advanced Manufacturing Application for Multiple Sectors. I couldn't show you all the videos, but because the audience profile is not clear to me, so I went slowly sometime. Next time, if I know the audience profile, I can change my speed of presentation. Next one. See, somebody is asking share the presentation. I can't do that, but Capital Goods Council will share the recording. Because the presentation has got confidential documents, including component parts and machine application. Many of them are available in website, YouTube. You can go through that. I encourage all of you to see starogtv.com. I'll type it here. Maybe my spelling may be wrong. You simply type Starog TV. You will get all the YouTube things in that. Next, Mr. Harsh.
Sir, thank you very much. That was the last question which we have received from the participants.
What was the last question? I forgot.
That related to electric vehicle.
That's a very good question. I learned this from my Toyota friend, that first next 10 years will be only hybrid vehicle. It will not become electric vehicle completely, even globally. Now I have put my email ID here. People can write to me with their full background if they want any other question. Now, Harsh, you can put that that quiz poll, that Word document I sent you. You can post it here so that people can answer in their leisurely. Although we are not asking them for a examination, but just for out of their interest, they can do it. I already given the answers in the beginning, so now they would understood why the answers were that quiz, why the answers were like that. For all the questions, there was only one answer. But initially, I put it as a poll to see how all of us are thinking. Now, when you see the quiz again, you will find there is only one answer for all the questions. I know all of you know the answer by now. Any other question? I'll just see the remark. Oh, not many questions. SPM strategy, I think I answered. Prove out. My dear Vinayak Gunderi, prove out is required both for special purpose machine and for general purpose machine. General purpose machine, turnkey machine, definitely require prove out by commercially and contract wise, tooled up machine. But general purpose, not tooled up machine, also you have to prove out. Even if customer is buying the fixtures and tooling, if the quality is not achieved, he will blame the machine only. Why? Because fixture and tooling was bought by customer. So he will not blame himself. So he will blame the machine. So your responsibility for tooled up and not tooled up and special purpose is very high for prove out. Prove out means component quality and productivity to be proved without any choice. That is for Vinayak Gunderi. Yes, Mr. Harsh.
Sir, thank you very much for such an informative session.
Thank you. I know many people wanted to ask more questions, but they can type out. 53 people are still there. I'm very pleased.
Yes,
out of 65 people, 70 people who came at the maximum. Others would have gone for lunch, obviously. It shows a level of interest. So we should follow up with multiple webinars, but specialized webinars which should be chargeable. I'm saying this because small amount, 300 rupees, 500 rupees, etc. you can work out, because we will get experts. See, I am only a general guy, you know. Don't call myself as expert. The experts will come and tell you what is a machine, what is a cutting tool, how to adjust it, what is the cycle time, what is parameter, you know. And 3D printing expert will talk about 3D printing. Aircraft titanium machining expert will talk about titanium machining. We then, in that panel discussion, we will bring machine tool, cutting tool, fixture people together. Yeah, Harsh. Three speakers.
Okay.
And they will take only 1 or 2 case studies. They'll go deep into the case study. I can help you on bringing the right speakers, but you have to provide the time and the logistics. Any other question? If there are no more questions, it is 1:30. I'm sorry I exceeded the time by half an hour.
Sir, just only we have received one more question. That how long does it take 3D printing industry to boom?
You will not believe, gentlemen, whoever is asking, from the month of March till now October, the 3D printing industry globally has 3 times turnover than before March, because of Corona. So, while Corona has killed many human beings, it has tripled the turnover of 3D printing companies and the robotics and automation companies have grown double. Can you believe even serving the beer in a hotel is being done by a Kobo along with the automated guided vehicle, because the waiters have gone home due to migrant policies. So robotics and automation grown double, 3D printing grown triple all over the world. Next one.
So that was the last question, in fact.
So before we close, if you post that quiz, is it possible for you to post it?
So you want me to launch the polls?
No, not launch poll. We already done the poll. Just post it so that they can answer it. What you do, you mail it to them.
Okay, sir, I will do that.
You mail it to how many registered? 140. Yeah.
Approximately, sir.
You send all of them. I don't care.
Okay.
The questionnaire only, nothing else. And if they answer it, you can to you. You send it from your email ID. You can put a CC. Then I can see the answers coming if they are interested.
Okay, sir.
But we'll give 1 week time. Give them enough time. 1 week. On that note, I thank Harsh Chavan, Shalini Singh from Capital Goods Skill Council, and all the participants who are patiently listening till the end. You can send me the participant profile just for my interest.
I will do that, sir.
Just to know how many industry, how many students, how many professors, just to get an idea. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for such a nice, informative session. And I would like to add 2 more names from my team members, Dhanendra and Mahesh, who have actually helped me a lot in promotion of this particular session.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you to Capital Goods Skill Council. And then we'll have a series of programs.
Sure, sir.
Your database, customer base, we can prepare it. Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. You would have taken some photographs. You can send me later.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for appreciate.